Hello and welcome to Contemporary Living with Farmer and Hill. Andre and I are so glad you decided to spend your time with us for the next 30 minutes. You know what, we've been gone for a little while. We were using a different format, but I am happy to be back. What about you, Andre?
Yeah, it feels good to be back in the studio. We hope y'all enjoyed our guests that we had over the last few months.
Yes.
So it feels good to be back home in the studio with our videographer Romeo, who's hiding in the background there. But we're going to get right into it. We got an
Right.
informative show today, and we got some very, very good info for our viewers.
All right, so let's get right into it, starting with the question of the day.
Yes.
And today's question is, Andre, has politics gone awry? Or, in other words, what's happening in politics?
Yes.
So, Thursday, I was watching a congressional hearing with FBI agent Peter Storzuk. And Peter Storzuk is a guy who was key to the Clinton email investigation. Where he made his mistake was he was having an affair with someone and he was using his government phone to text. And he said some anti-Trump things like this guy's an idiot. How is he going to run our country? So
Right.
he said some things like that. And so based on that, Congress said, well, you're biased in your opinion, so we don't believe your report. And so they had him testify at a congressional hearing. But what happened at that congressional hearing on a worldwide stage was embarrassing. They were shouting. Republicans were, trying to get their point across. They wouldn't even let the agent speak. And, they cut him off and they made him read his text aloud. And I mean, this is playing in front of a worldwide stage. So my thing is, you know what? Our democracy, if we keep behaving like this unprofessionally, just we don't care about anything the person has to say, we're going to erode our democracy.
Yes.
I can say that the agent, he was very poised, he was very intelligent, and he was very respectful. But Representative, it was Goodlotty and Representative Gowdy, those are not the people that we need in office right now. And, I think we'll still uphold the democracy, but we got to vote to get the right people in. And Goodlotty and Gowdy are not one of them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. We have gotten away from about the people. It's about the party. It's about money. It's about corporation. It's about the Democrats going for the Democrats. It's about the Republicans sticking with the Republicans. So we got to get back on message, and the message should be about the American people and making sure that we are well, taken care of. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
So
y'all
that's
please share your thoughts with us at farmandhill@gmail.com and let us know what you think about politics today and how Congress is acting and the senators and stuff like that.
And the president.
Yeah,
What do
absolutely,
you
and
think
the
it's going to be
president.
like 10 years from now?
Yes.
It's amazing. We'll see.
All right,
We'll
so
see.
we're going to jump right into it. Yeah, so Melissa, she's going to educate us on health and fitness right quick.
Absolutely. And so what we're going to talk about is water and you. It's summertime. People are out. People are enjoying themselves.
Yes.
They're getting a lot of sun. They're drinking sodas. They're drinking, beer, alcoholic beverages, and things like that. But it's very important that you take care of yourself. And it's very important that you know how significant water is to your body. So let's look at some of how significant it is. Water serves four major functions for the body. So it helps our intestines. It helps with the absorption of the food and things in your intestines. For your kidneys, it helps push out the toxins, the medications that's excess in your body to go through your urine.
Yes.
In your liver, it cleanses the blood, and in your stomach, it helps convert food. But they also say that the body is similar to how the earth is made. 2/3 of our body is made of water. 2/3 of the earth is made of water, and these are vital also. So in your blood, Andre, 85% of your blood is made of water.
Oh, wow.
24% for your skeleton, your bones. 75% of water goes to the brain. Your lungs, 90% water. All right?
Wow.
Your
We need to drink some water then, huh?
Your muscles, 75% water. Your skin, 80% water. All of that is important. Now, my mother, she recently was admitted to the hospital for severe dehydration. And that's significant because she was just going on with her life. She loves Pepsis.
Yeah, she loves
Pepsis. But that day she was out in the sun drinking Pepsis and she hadn't, hydrated herself, and that she fell out because of that. She was also dealing with a respiratory infection as well. But by her not drinking water, it made the matters worse. So I want you to recognize some signs of dehydration. And those signs are, if you have a dry mouth, dark urine, dry skin, low blood pressure, muscle cramping, constipation, decrease in your urination, if you're fatigued or headaches, if you get any of these symptoms, what I'd like for you to do is think about what your water intake for that day is. And if it's not a lot, start to increase that. So I know it's hard if you're not used to drinking water. We drink water all the time, but if you're not used to drinking water, you may be challenged on staying hydrated. So here's some tips to, some ideas that will help you stay hydrated. So on your phone, you can download an app that will ring on the hour to give you a reminder to drink water. All over social media, they're doing a 30-day gallon a day drinking water challenge. So go ahead and take the challenge. You don't just jug a gallon at one time. It starts from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So take that challenge for 30 days. Maybe you can find a water bottle that you find that really looks good that you can carry around with, that you won't mind carrying it around with you. And then, if just the taste of water just doesn't do it for you, you can always add fruit, lemon, cucumber. You can add all of those things. And then you need to maybe improve on your habits. Maybe when you first wake up, drink some water. That's really good because it gets everything flushed out and gets you going. Or before or during a meal. Now, we had talked about water before, and the rule of thumb was, how much water do you drink? You drink half your body weight in ounces. But now I have a new method. When you go to the restroom and you look, and if it looks like apple juice, you need to hydrate. And that's the best advice I could give you, because you can always do that and you can see whether or not you're hydrated. And if it looks like apple juice, then guess what? You need to drink water. So let that be a challenge to you. Drink more water. We've discovered how important it is to the body. So that's what I say.
Well, I'm quite sure my urine is going to look like apple juice. I love apple juice. I'm addicted to apple juice.
He does love apple juice.
And I like it in a wine glass as well. So, right. but it's funny how you mentioned about the cramps. I think we was in bed, was that last week, and I jumped up them cramps? Yeah. So I ran downstairs and got some water. Yeah. And then I don't know if it worked or not. They always say get some salt. But anyway, I'm old school. So that's what I did. And my cramps went away about maybe 5-10 minutes later. All right. She was laying in the bed chilling.
So drink more water. So thank you. And next up, know your rights. It's Leasing with the Hills. So let's get at it.
Yes, Leasing 101, Leasing with the Hills. So you know that we like to talk about properties and rentals. So today I want to talk about, are you prepared to rent a house? All right, so I'm going to give you 8 steps on when you're looking for a house that you should look for. So first of all, you want to make sure that you find a broker or a leasing agent. So the reason you want to find a broker or a leasing agent is because they normally have a stockpile of inventory that they're trying to rent out, or they may know owners or other leasing agents or other brokers with property. So that's good to have when you start looking for a house. And plus, you want to waste your money on application fees. You want to research the areas. You want to make sure that you research the schools, transportation, the crime in the area. So this is stuff that you have to do. So this will be your homework. Okay. Also, you want to make sure that you have an application fee. Most people charge about maybe $35 to $50. So you want to make sure that you have an application fee just in case you like a house. You want to make sure that you're ready to move forward. So you want to be prepared on your end. Also, do you have a security deposit? Have you started saving up for a security deposit? So your security deposit is like your earnest money. So your earnest money is pretty much saying, once they approve you for a house, look, I got a security deposit. I'm going to maybe put $500 down of that $1,200 security deposit so you can take the house off the market and so that you can hold it for me. So make sure that you have a security deposit ready. Also, know your credit score. Majority of people we encounter do not know their credit score. Normally, typically, you want to have between a 550 on up far as credit score. Normally, that's what most owners require. 550 credit score with no recent evictions or judgments on your record. Also, you should be making 3 times the monthly rent. Okay, so pretty much saying if you want a house for $500 a month, you should be making about $1,500 a month. All right, so you want to make sure that your rent to income ratio falls in those guidelines. Also, find out how many people have already submitted applications. You don't want to put no application in, then you got this other person to put an application in, and you done paid all your money, and guess what? You don't get picked for that particular house. Application fee is gone down the drain. So that's why I recommend that you also work with a licensed broker or leasing agent. And last but not least, if you're a Section 8 voucher holder, you want to make sure that you have your moving papers in hand, that you are ready to go. You just don't walk into Section 8 and say, look, I'm getting ready to move downtown. I need my moving papers. It's a process. It do not work like that. And owners, brokers, leasing agents, they want to make sure that you are prepared to go so we can get you in these houses by the first of each month. So that's what I got for you for Leasing 101.
Yeah, I can't tell you like the countless of times people are just not ready to move.
Yeah.
They haven't prepared to be new renters in a new home.
Absolutely.
They don't know their credit score. Look, people, you have to know about yourself. No one's going to do it for you. Yeah. They don't know their credit score. Sometimes they just want to see the properties, and
they just want to go sightseeing.
Yeah, so just make sure when you actually go look for a house or look for a house to rent that you're prepared. And those 8 things were right on point.
All right, so we're going to talk about some money now. Who's minding your dollars? So my baby's going to talk about some money for us today. She handled the finances in the house. I just give her the money.
All right. So today we are going to talk about side hustle economics. Why they make sense for your family's finances.
Yes.
So everyone these days, Andre, has some type of side hustle, whether it's multi-level marketing, t-shirts are a big thing. A lot of people are making plates. They're doing a lot of things to just bring more income into the family. Uber, Lyft, they're doing a lot of things to just bring more income in. But what I would like to do for you today is ask questions before you even start a side hustle. Now, millennials, that are ages 22 to 37, they are really big on a side hustle. It's like over half of them have an additional job as a side hustle, and they use that for disposable income because they want to go to the best of restaurants. They want to, they want to do those things. Yeah. But here are some questions you need to ask yourself. How long do I plan on doing this side hustle? Is it going to be short term? Is it going to be long term? Because that's important. Yeah. What is my ultimate goal with the side hustle? Why are you doing this? If it's just for more money, I always say every dollar needs to be accounted for. You need to know where every dollar is going. So if it's to get more money, is it to use it as disposable income? Do you want to save? Do you want to invest? Is it for a goal like a car or a home? And that will help you decide also how long you're going to have it. So, what your ultimate goal is what you have to decide. Then you have to say, how much time per week will this side hustle take? And do you have time for it? Because those things are important, because you have, in addition to your primary job and your side hustle, there are also other responsibilities, I'm sure, that you have at home. And you don't want to take anything away from quality time with your family and things like that, because money is not at the top of, money should not be at the top of the list. It should be faith, family, and things like that. The next question is, what will you do if it takes more time than expected? How are you going to free up that time? So there's nothing wrong with a side hustle. Everyone's doing it. Some people's side hustle turn into their full-time job. But just make sure that when you do decide to go for a side hustle, you answer these questions and you figure out, well, what's the most important things? What are my non-negotiables? Because that's important, because that side hustle is going to take up it's going to eat up some of your time that you're not used to. Yeah.
Wow, that's good information on side hustling. Yeah, so I think I was talking about doing some Uber. But multiple streams of income is very important. Not only am I a Section 8 inspector, I'm also a licensed leasing agent working on my broker's license. And then we just talked about Uber, maybe doing Uber as well. So excellent information. All right, so y'all know we like to travel, we like to hit them roads, we like to be in those streets.
Hit them corners.
Hit them corners, right. So we're going to take y'all to the great city of Peoria, Illinois. And my job sent me there. I was there pretty much on and off from February until actually a couple of weeks ago. And we was able to visit some amazing places while we were there. We just had a blast. So we're going to just go through them very quickly. We were able to visit Kickapoo Winery. Very nice location as well. Man, you can go there. I think they had, you can do samples of wine and stuff like that.
We did a tasting, and the customer service was really good. And she told us about other wineries, and we met her fiance. That was really nice.
Yes. Actually, that was real nice. And then we also visited Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor, they got a statue of Richard Pryor, as you can see here on the slide. Richard Pryor, one of the greatest comedians to ever do it, so they honored him by making him a statue. And then we checked out Granite City Brewery. It's right there on the river. It's
really
real,
nice.
Real nice. The ambiance in there is great.
It's a good time.
Yeah, it's a good.
It's kind of like a upscale sports bar feel, and they make their own. They have their own brewery, so it's really nice. Really nice.
And then we checked out Jim's. So we checked out
Bar Restaurant.
Piano Bar Restaurant is down in the basement area. I'm talking about, it's a gorgeous place. The prices are reasonable, and we just had a good time.
And then I talked to the lady that was that actually was at the piano bar. She had been there for like years and years, and her husband also had been there for years and years. So that's a really good place, and great food.
Yeah. Then we ran into Honest Abe down there. We ran into him. He was giving that knowledge that you can see.
He left Springfield to go to Peoria.
Yeah, so that's where so you're looking for him, that's where he's at. No, I'm just playing. People go for real. But then my wife, she turned me on to this German restaurant.
The Hofbrau.
Yes. I had never had German food before, so it was a real nice place. The ambiance there was good too. The customer
really
service.
Nice.
Food was good.
Really, that's really a neighborhood type place, because people there, they're there every Thursday or every Friday, and they are just like part of the family.
Yeah, then we went to a place called Ireland. It was downtown as well. It's a real nice place as well. Great customer service. I'm saying we went to places that did not disappoint.
Right.
If you're ever in Peoria, you got to go to Rum Burgers.
Yes.
Rum Burger wings is fine. And you're probably going to be waiting for about an hour. They're very busy.
Bit of a wait.
Yeah, a little bit of a wait, but it's worth the wait, put it like that. And then we had the opportunity to stay at Stony Creek. And behind Stony Creek, they got the river behind Stony Creek. Gorgeous. We actually took our DVD player out there and chilled on the river and watched some movies, and they got bars over there. And then I forgot to mention they had a seafood steak. It was a seafood house right across the street. So that was nice too, right there on the river. So that's somewhere you can visit as well. And shout out to Best Western Plus. They really treated us good while we were there.
Amber.
Yeah, Amber. So, and then for relaxation, you can we went to the Salt Cave.
So I was just waiting for Andre to get back to the hotel room, and he said, I had a surprise for you. And oh my goodness, that salt cave was so relaxing. It's literally a Himalayan salt cave, and you go and you sit back for like an hour, and you do nothing but breathe in the Himalayan salt that helps with cleansing of the body and things like that. So that was a really good time.
And then we did the riverboat cruise.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Then what was it? Obed and Isaac Brewery.
That's actually very historical. It's actually a church. It was a church, and they converted it into a restaurant, Obed and Isaac.
Yeah, then we went to Hooked on Fishing. Hooked on Fishing, as you can see, also that was a nice. If you want some relaxation, they deal with a lot of nonprofit organizations. And the guy said, "Look, y'all can go walk around and take a look." And then, but last but not least, Alexander's Steakhouse. I'm telling you, man,
my goodness,
this place is amazing. And the unique thing about this here, you can go cook your steak yourself. Or you can have one of their guys cook the steak for you. The gentleman we talked to, I think he's been there about 18, 20 years. Yeah, so man, their steak is wonderful. You go to the freezer, you pick out your steak, the one you want, and they cook it for you.
And then they have this amazing salad bar as well.
Yes.
So we really had a good time. And it's one thing I want you to know, because Andre had been talking to some people that lived in Peoria, and they would always tell him there's nothing to do. Anywhere you go, there's something to do. You got to want it. You got to want to do the research and the legwork. We're not from Peoria. We hadn't been to Peoria, but we found all of these amazing places. And so that's a really good message there. So, yeah.
Yes.
Make sure you get out to Peoria.
All right, so as we boil down to it, we want to talk about the family structure here. So we know the Bible tells us in 2 Timothy 2:15, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needed not to be ashamed, but rightfully dividing the word of truth. So Ephesians chapter 5, verse 21 through 29, it talks about husbands loving your wife as Christ, as Christ loved the church.
Mm-hmm.
So understanding and that as you love your wife as Christ loved the church, that one thing about us as men, what we do, we take care of ourselves. We take care of our families and things like that. So that's how you love your wife as Christ loved the church. Not only that Christ laid out his life for the church. And that's how we should be when it comes to our spouse and to our mate as well. Also, in Titus chapter 2, verse 1 through 8, the Bible acknowledges us as men and as women how to carry ourselves and conduct ourselves. And so it says, I like how it says, but speak thou the things which become sound doctrine, that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith and charity and in patience. And that the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, not false accusers, not giving too much wine, teachers of good things, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, and to love their children, to be discreet. To be discreet is not letting everybody know your business. Mm-hmm. It also talks about to be chaste. To be chaste is to not be a loose woman just out there sleeping with anybody. Keepers at home, taking care of your house, and make sure that your kids are in subjection as well. So that's what Titus chapter 2, verse 1 through 8 talks about. Mm-hmm. And then as you go into Ephesians, it talks about children obeying your parents in the Lord. We understand that you as children, that you are to obey your parents in the Lord, that you may have long life here on earth. So the structure has never been that we as parents are to take care of our grandkids as though they are our own kids.
Right.
But our job was to raise our kids and teach them the ways of the Lord, that they may in return go out and raise their kids to be productive citizens in the world, mm-hmm. that the word of God can be perpetuated from one generation to the next. So in 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 18, it talks about the mindset of men in the last days. It talks about how they're going to be truce breakers and mm-hmm. false accusers and proud and blasphemers. A blasphemer is one that think they're God, or that talks about God. And they talk about how kids was going to be disobedient to parents and unthankful and fierce. You ever see people that's fierce, that pull in front of you in a parking lot and cussing you out and ready to fight and things like that? So this is what we have become lately in the world. Mm-hmm. So not only are we not being parents and honoring the family structure, but we have got so far away from God, and the things that's going on in the world is mm-hmm. just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about far as family structure. So understanding that the man has a role. So the Bible tells us if a man does not provide for his family, he's worse than an infidel. And it said if any don't work, neither should they eat. So we have to be responsible. We have to get out there and understand the roles of the man, understand the roles of the women, and understand our roles as children. So one day, maybe next show or the following show, then I'm going to come and give an in-depth knowledge on family structure.
All right. It's all in the book.
Yeah, so yes, it's all in the book, absolutely. Mm-hmm. So I want you to sit back and watch this video that we have right quick, and we're going to talk about some upcoming events that's coming up in the area. So stay tuned.
All right.
Hi, it's Lauren Michaels Harris, motivational speaker, message discovery coach, and your host for the Power of We Symposium, to be held here in Chicago, September 20th, 2018. At the Power of We Symposium, I am going to share with you every single thing I know about the power of control. It's because of the power of control that I live a life today that not so long ago I could barely even imagine was possible. Because of the power of control, I now live within my purpose, and everything I do is on purpose. Joining me that day September 20th, will be 11 other dynamic speakers from all over the United States. They're coming to share with you and 200 of Chicago's at-risk youth everything they know about their unique superpower. Trust me, the Power of We Symposium is more than just a day of getting together, of hearing speakers, of meeting people. The Power of We Symposium is a movement, and we want you to be a part of it.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. We are back here. And so there's a special event coming up. It's going to be held by Lauren Michael Harris. He's an author and a motivational speaker. And I think my wife, you follow him on Facebook, don't you?
Yeah, he has a conversation in bathrobes. Actually, I'm going to be one of the guests on there. So I'm looking forward to that actually next week. So
Yes. So they have a special event coming up. It's called the Power of We Symposium, 2018 at the Stand Mansion, located at 2408 North Kedzie Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60647. And it's going to be from 8:30 to 6:30.
Good.
Yes, and you can also follow them at powerofwesymposium.com and get the latest information on this event. I believe they got 11 to 12 powerful speakers that's going to be talking as well. So it's going to be a great event, and my wife, I know she's looking forward to going on the show.
I am. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, and I think you got to just get robes or something,
yeah,
don't you?
So I'll be in my bathrobe, and I'll have a cup of coffee, and we're just going to have a conversation.
Yes.
So,
Yes, and then we got some other upcoming events as well.
Absolutely. So we're highlighting a lot of the communities that watch our show. So I want to talk about 3 events that are coming up. It's the 2nd annual Taste of Black Chicago. That's going to be August 18th from 1 to 8 p.m. 7521 South Stony Island in Chicago. And you can get more information on Eventbrite. Then there's the Palooza Festival for those animal lovers. That's going to be on August 19th from 9 to 3. That's going to be at the Balmoral Racing Club. That's 26435 South Dixie Highway in Crete. And you can get more information about that on Eventbrite. And then there's the Shoe Fest. It's a 3-day celebration of music and just having a great time. That's from August 31st to September 2nd. That's at Camp Shaughnessy, and that's in Mantino. And you can Google shoe-fest.com to go to that website. So those are some of the communities that support our show, some of the people watching, and those are some of the events you can attend.
Yeah, so we appreciate it. So every month we're going to at least try to highlight some upcoming events that's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so we hope you enjoyed our show. So as always, on behalf of myself and my lovely wife, we thank God for his unmerited, undeserved favor called grace. For grace is the total absence of any works. You can't work for grace, you can't buy it, you can't tarry, or you can't sell it. It is strictly what God has given to each and every one of us. Because we believe that Christ died for our sins, he was buried, and that he rose again the 3rd day for our justification. On behalf of myself, my lovely wife, Melissa, and Contemporary Living, be blessed.
Bye-bye.
Teenage on the track.